I am about to make one of the biggest Pokemon card single transactions that I've ever made. I've been buying and selling Pokemon cards since like 2013, 2014. That's kind of when it all started. I was playing the game competitively, trying to figure out how to make a little bit of extra money so I could travel and play in events, but also just to help put food on the table. At the time, there wasn't really a market for sealed items at all. It was pretty much just singles. So I would sit there and I would literally freak out about spending $300 on bulk. I would work out deals and buy as many bulk cards as I could, and then I would sit in my living room and literally package them up in little lots, like little Christmas gifts of 50 card lots and 100 card lots that then I would list on eBay and on Amazon, and I'd make like 30, 45 cents per lot, and it was just a grind. That's really all you could do at the time to make Pokemon cards work. Like, you would just sit there and you would sort through bulk and you would pull out the cards that had maybe $1 or $2 in value, and then you would make lots out of the rest of them, a good variety of lots, maybe including an ultra rare here and there. And when I broke everything down and calculated expenses and stuff like that, it was like 30 to 45 cents profit on every single lot that I would sell. And you would do this 50, 100 times a day, and it worked. It was not great. It was not glorious. It was something. But that $300 freaked me out. And then eventually I decided, well, Fanny, why don't you grow up a little bit and actually make this a legitimate business? Why don't you actually do all the paperwork, get a reseller's certificate, become an actual business, pay your taxes, do things the right way, work with distribution. So that's when 2015 I started working with distribution. And I remember the first invoices that I got, which were bigger than $300, but not by much, like $1,000, $1,200, and I would freak out about that. I remember when Guardians Rising came out specifically, this was like my biggest order ever at the time because we were taking in massive amounts of bulk, writing a check for like $20,000, mailing it out on a Friday, and knowing that I did not have enough money in my account to cover that check for when it arrived on Monday. So knowing that I needed to figure out a way to sell cards, like $10,000 worth of cards that weekend, just to break even. Just to be able for that check to not bounce, and freaking out about it. And now fast forward to today, and it's a lot easier today, right now, because the market is obviously crazy, crazy strong when it comes to sealed items. And I don't freak out about distro checks. I don't freak out about, we just paid a $100,000 invoice for waves 1 and 2 of Mega Evolution, and then the other ancillary products that came at that time. But this all coupled together, like, the market is slowing. And while there are things that are still going up and some things that are going down a little bit, it's just the volume of sales that are happening, especially when it comes to singles, are not nearly as abundant as what they used to be. So a deal like this, which is, I don't know exactly how much it's going to be, but it's like a $50,000 collection, is tough. It's tough because we do sell at MSRP. We just paid an invoice for $100,000. We have Phantasmal Flames literally shipping like right now as we speak. That's another $100,000 invoice. And that's not even including the Charizard Ultra Premium collections, the Pokeball tins, the Prismatic Evolutions boxes, whatever those collection boxes are with the figures inside that still haven't released yet, that are delayed. Those are coming out really soon for LGSs. Same thing with the Mega Diancie, the Mega Gengar battle decks. Like, those are still coming out. And there's a lot of other collection boxes too. And this all coupled together has me a little freaked out. So even though we're 10 years down the road from when I was just writing $300 checks, this $50,000 collection has me nervous. And it's really just about figuring a way to make sure to make this work, getting through everything, condition grading everything, and then getting them up on the website as quickly as I possibly can, because this is like crunch time. And we talked about this a few weeks ago in a video with how difficult it could be if Pokemon did decide to release a massive reprint, how difficult it could be on stores to pay all these invoices at once. This is kind of what I'm talking about. This is when the grind still happens. It's not as easy as just selling every single box and getting this giant profit margin. As a store that sells at MSRP and your margin is still strong, it's not as comfortable as what it would have been if we would have sold at market. But this is what it's all about. Like, this is if I'm not good at business, if I'm not good at this business, if I can't figure out how to make this work, then I don't deserve it. And I just have to figure it out. So here I am sitting in the parking lot of a library, about to go make the biggest single purchase I've ever made. And I guess we'll just go through it and see how it goes. You know, the whole Pokemon theme song about wanting to be the very best, like I take that, I guess, kind of literally about things that I want to do, things that I want to accomplish. And when it comes to owning my own card store, I've always wanted to do things well. Like, I've always wanted to be super successful. So we just recently updated our website. If you haven't checked it out yet, thecardcoliseum.com. Every few years, we have gone through like a revamp and done things where we kind of redo the entire thing just for a clean look. When it originally started, it was so bad. My original website was just absolutely terrible. And it was just something that I put together, having no idea anything about website creation or coding or anything like that. Like, I had no idea. Like, it was just a Shopify theme, and I just kind of drag and dropped and tried to like fuddy-duddy my way through everything to make it so that it worked. And then as things started getting bigger and things grew a little bit, we finally hired a professional with the last launch, which was like during the pandemic. And now this one, this new, like we went with a professional again, this new model is starting to get like super sleek and super modern. But there's a lot missing. There's a lot of stuff on the website that needs to be added. And I have to go through and I have to get everything added because right now it's just myself running the English side. Like, my business partner takes care of the Japanese website, kuroshioshop.com. Like, you can find links in the description for both of our websites. But now this collection that we just bought, this is the biggest single collection that I've ever purchased before. And there's a ton in it. And it's all about getting stuff up on the website, not just because I have to move off of it and like, you have to sell. Like, I've talked about this before. As a business owner, like, we sell at MSRP, we want to hit our margins, but it's also like, you got to do it quickly. Like, I don't hold a lot of stuff because you have to put stuff up and burn in turns. That way you can buy the next collection or pay the next invoice, and you keep doing that and growing and growing and growing. I've always wanted the website to be like the best out there. And part of it comes from not having the manpower to do it. Like, it's just me. Like, if you order from thecardcoliseum.com, I'm the one who's packing your orders. I'm the one who's taking in the orders. I'm the one who's packing them all up. I'm the one who's listing all the cards. When you see stuff that's like out of date as far as pricing goes, that's my fault. Like, I'm the one who hasn't gotten up with the times. And sometimes it works out really well for the customer because they're able to buy something super cheap that's like recently skyrocketed in price. And sometimes things are like overly expensive. Things are like, why is this price so much higher than what it's supposed to be? Why is this listing even exist? Like, that's something that either I just haven't gotten around to fixing or haven't gotten around to updating or something like that. So manpower is a huge issue. And you get to a point where you're like, well, if you want to be the best and if you want to grow, one of the building blocks is like, when do you start looking at hiring additional help? When do you start looking at having people come in and do work for you? I mean, I probably have been at that point. We have probably been at that point for a while, but then are you getting too big? Are you losing sight of what you originally like were trying to achieve? We sell singles on our website. A lot of websites don't do that. A lot of websites just sell sealed, but we have been in business for a while where we remember when singles were like the only thing that kept your business afloat. Sealed was not something that anybody really wanted. So selling booster boxes at the time of release for like Celestial Storm and Cosmic Eclipse and Team Up and all these great sets that people love and have exploded in price. Back then, you couldn't even sell them for wholesale costs. They just weren't moving. I remember selling Shining Legends ETBs for $35 and just sitting on them and being like, nobody's buying these. I can't sell them for more than $35 shipped because I'm already losing money selling them for just $35 shipped. Like, I can't lose more money than that. So like, we resorted to singles and adding all these singles to the website, and we've just kind of continued that. So going through this collection now and trying to get this stuff listed, like that, it becomes a giant time suck. Not something that's bad by any means, but you have to go through, we have to condition grade everything, make sure everything is like, we list cards that are near mint on the website, and then anything that's listed is near mint, unless it specifically says like lightly played. Like, there will be drop-down menu options that say like lightly played or moderately played, and we really only list those cards if it's like, okay, well, people might still want this even in lightly played or moderately played condition. Otherwise, what you see on the website is going to be just a near mint. I don't know if it's going to grade a 10, and that's the other thing too. People might be like, well, you're going through all these cards, why don't you grade some of them? Well, I don't really have the time. I don't really have the time to try and grade something in hopes that it gets a 10 to increase the profit margin. I just want to move off of it now, find somebody who really wants it, and then move on to the next thing, like that whole burn and turn mentality when it comes to building a website. But I ultimately want, and this is crazy, like I want shelves of singles, all alphabetized, where you can go to thecardcoliseum.com. It's not possible right now because there's just not enough inventory out there, but it be your one-stop shop. Your one-stop shop for any Pokemon cards that you could possibly want. Any singles, any sealed product, any maybe older packs or current packs or anything like that, at whatever the best pricing is available. Like that's always been the goal, is to have, like for singles, to have anything and everything you could possibly need, whether you're a collector or a competitive player, like it's all there. Because it's tough right now if you go to TCG Player and you're filling up a card and you're piecing things together from all over the place. But it doesn't make sense, like on your website, to list commons and uncommons because they're barely worth anything. And is it really worth your time to scan in the image, upload the image, like make the listing, keep track of all the inventory, take up all that space? Like it's very, very tough to do all that stuff. So eventually it's all got to be like, I mean, there has to be something that gives. And this is like super rambly right now. But I've always wanted to have like all these shelving units with all of these singles where there's just tons of stuff in stock all the time, and getting to that point. And that's where we're struggling right now. So the website is updated. The website has like this nice clean look and adding filters, and it's still a growing process. And the person who's working on the website is constantly working with our Discord to make sure that everything is working and up to date for everybody. And I want to go through this collection relatively quickly just to kind of show you what we all got, and then work on adding stuff, work on putting stuff up. So we're going to kind of go through things. This is like this is crazy. So this is by far the biggest collection. I shouldn't say by far, but this is the biggest collection that I've bought. And I got everything out of binders. And right now I've got everything in a 5-row and then this just empty case box. This is all just older stuff right here. So this is like simple stuff right here, bulkier stuff, and then some promo cards. There was a lot of like e-reader stuff in this collection as well. So like right here is just a Phanpy from Aquapolis, and there's just a ton of different e-reader things in here. There's Skyridge stuff in here, there's Expedition stuff in here, in varying conditions. Like, I mean, most of it is near mint, lightly played, but you have to go through and create separate listings on all of that stuff. So this is a crazy collection that spans from like, you know, current modern stuff, ultra modern stuff, all the way back to base set. Like there's base set stuff in here. And so this is all, actually this entire box here is all like older stuff, with the exception of a few cards. Like we've got like a Pikachu with Greyfell Tat that's still sealed in its original packaging, which obviously has like blown up in price. We've got special illustration rares like Lycia's Appeal there, and then you've got the Pokemon together. So there's Eevee, there's Pikachu, those are still sealed, and then we've got illustration contest winners right there, so those are still sealed. And then there is a lot of bulkier stuff in here, and then just a lot of like older stuff in here too. So like there's Gengar, and I'm not going to go through all of this because there's just so much to go through, and I don't want to bore you with me just kind of fussing going through all these things. But this is an insane collection, as we've got a Latias EX special illustration rare right here. And this is just the stuff that really didn't fit in the 5-row, because the 5-row is completely jam-packed. And really what I've got to do is I got to go through and I've got to de-top loader all of these. And that way I can catalog them properly, and that way I can re-sleeve them properly, and I can condition grade them properly, because the last thing that I want to do is list like that Gengar EX, for example. Like, I guess I should just pull that out. So when I look at the Gengar EX here, like you want to make sure that it's in the condition that you posted in. So like I would post this in lightly played condition because it does have a little bit of whitening on the edge here. But even so, like a lot of people would want a card like this in lightly played condition. But you have to go through and you have to separate all those so that way you're listing them properly, because the last thing you want to do is you want to sell a card that's lightly played as near mint, and then all of a sudden you get it in, you're like, well, this isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what I expected. This isn't what I wanted. I bought this really expensive card in near mint condition, and it's actually lightly played. So if I go through everything like this, as we've got a Giratina alternate art and an Aerodactyl alternate art and a Rotom alternate art. This is just the collection that honestly keeps giving. Lugia alternate art, Regidrago, there's an unknown, Hisuian Lilligant, Hisuian Sneasler, Dialga, so just all of these all these cards. This is just, it's crazy. So Sabrina's Suggestion there, the Thicky Wicky, Lily's Full Force, Misty's Favor. So a lot of these cards obviously very, very expensive and adds up to over $50,000 collection that we ended up buying. That was all singles. And it is difficult right now because the market is fluctuating. So it is very volatile. So as a store owner, you want to pay a certain percentage to make sure that you protect yourself, but then also you factor in fees and things like that. So a lot of this stuff we'll be able to put on our website, and we'll be able to move it on our website at, you know, whatever the fee is for, you know, if you take PayPal, there's a fee associated with it. If you take a credit card, there's a fee associated with it. But some of the older stuff, like maybe some of the e-reader stuff that's in here, or like, yeah, some of that, like there's just random e-reader stuff that's in here, or, you know, some of the older, like Deoxys era stuff. Like there's some reverse holo, some holographic rares from e-reader sets. Like there's just a lot. Like this entire box is full of just random older items. They probably don't move that well on the website because there's not going to be a lot of people that look for them. So then you're like, okay, well, do I put these on TCG Player? Well, if you put something like this rare Moltres on TCG Player, for example, like it's near mint or lightly played condition, however you want to look at it, 14% fees is what you're looking at if you post this on TCG Player. And that's not even factoring shipping costs or things like that. So we would send this with tracked shipping. So if it's a $10 card, let's say, for example, and you pay 14% fees on that, that's $1.40. And then you add in $4 for bubble mailer shipping, that brings you down to what, $6, $5, somewhere around that. So if you didn't buy it for 50%, you're losing money on it. So buying it for whatever we paid for it, we have to be careful with how we list stuff and what you do. So like I said, I'm not going to go through everything in here because there's just so much. But we've got like tag teams, just kind of going through. There's a Solgaleo and Lunala. I guess I picked a good. There's an alternate art, Blastoise and Piplup. Magikarp and Wailord, Mega Lopunny, Greninja and Zoroark alternate art. There's the ADP alternate art, Mega Sableye and Tyranitar, Gengar and Mimikyu alternate art, Magikarp and Wailord. There's a special illustration rare Greninja. There's the Teal Mask Ogerpon SIR Shining Ho-Oh, Reshiram and Charizard promo. There's Hisuian Typhlosion Rainbow rare. And then a few more tag teams right there. But if I just kind of flip you guys around so you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. This entire thing is just all jam-packed with cards that need to be condition graded and top loaded. So just kind of going through things real quick. And there's a lot of stuff that's like not valuable either. Like Poltergeist is just, you know, a pretty simple one. There's our Bianca right there, Flare and VMAX. And then there's not any like bulk Vs really or EXs in here. For the most part, it's VMAXs, V-Stars, illustration rares. But there's a lot of stuff in here that all needs to be cataloged and alphabetized. And that's something as a store owner you have to do quickly. And normally you would have a team of people behind you that's able to help you. Unfortunately, we just aren't at that point. I don't know if we are at that point yet or if we will get to that point. And the other problem too is that you need to find somebody, like this isn't going to be their business. If you're a business owner, if you've ever worked for a company, at the end of the day, it's very difficult to expect more from an employee than what you would do yourself. And when the employee doesn't have anything outside of just like a normal hourly wage associated with their work, the likelihood of them doing and going the extra mile it's tough. It's tough to find people who are going to be willing to do that for somebody else's brand. So that's going to be the struggle, but we have to go through all this stuff. So I guess rather than going through it all with you guys just like sitting here looking at it, I just wanted to kind of highlight This is $50,000 worth of stuff right here that we need to all go through. $50,000 worth of stuff in addition to, you know, the Phantasmal Flames drops that we'll do. I still have to put up more Mega Evolution booster boxes that'll be going up, you know, at MSRP. And it's just over the next couple months, I'm going to try and get as much of this stuff done as possible. I don't have any traveling going on. I just have a lot of work. So be patient with me. I will do whatever I can to get all this stuff listed. And then it's just going to take a while. So let me know. Let me know in the comments section, first of all, what you think of the new website. If you like the look of it, if you like the design of it, just what you think. Like, I appreciate all the feedback. I really do appreciate, genuinely, all of the good comments, all the constructive comments. I think are fantastic. And I guess I don't know, like, this is where it goes, like, you have to get to a point where it's not a hobby, it's a business. And this is like, if you are going to succeed and set yourself up for long term. We talk about this all the time. If things change and Pokemon does take a step back in popularity, you want to make sure that during those downturns, as a business owner, you have set yourself up and done the work that your business might suffer, but it won't suffer a lot. It won't suffer to the point where you have to worry about, like, closing up shop or not being able to pay salaries or anything like that. So it's finding that perfect balance. And also, like, how much can you pack in a day? I don't know. There's just so much that goes into it. And this is just really me rattling a lot through this video. It's just all these growing pains, I guess, of running a successful business, especially when you run singles. Because with sealed, it's just so many SKUs. You know, there's only so many SKUs that you're in charge of. When it's singles, also in addition to SKUs, like, that's why you see so many online stores that just run sealed. Like, we run singles also, and that's just so many SKUs. But I'm going to get to work and get through all this as quickly as I possibly can and get it up on the website. And then I will keep you guys posted about Mega drops, about Phantasmal Flames drops. Join the Discord, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. Like, that's the best way that you'll be able to, like, set yourself up to hopefully succeed. Obviously, we only get so much product. The Phantasmal Flames Master Set Binder giveaway, I should be getting in my Phantasmal Flames order on Tuesday. So it's just a lot of going through all this. So yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this video. I don't even know if this was a video that was necessary. It's just me going through all this stuff. But this is just, like, how my head works, I guess. So just me being transparent and honest. I love you guys. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Until next time, peace.